Good afternoon, everybody. It's 1:02 p.m. on the East Coast, and just wanted to touch base with you guys. Shady, how's that stream looking?
The stream looked pretty good to me. I think we're running well. Matrix, did you see something?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Just want to check you guys out. 5-5. How we doing? We are a little bit behind, it looks like, but welcome to the Matrixxx Groove Hour. This is 3-6. It is -13 on the Q countdown clock. So here we are. Welcome everybody, and welcome to my partner in justice, Mr. Shady Groove. How you doing?
So great to be here again. Another day of winning for all the Anons across the world, man. Wow, what a show this is becoming. Really escalating now, Matrix.
Yeah, it is, and we've got some really good things. I got 2 books yesterday. You better sign. I'm not in the book though, Squirrel. But I'm not one of the authorities, if you will. Somebody says buffering a bit, but 5-5. Audio in and out. Buffering, scratching here, skipping, but that's normal. Audio in and out. Buffering 5-5-5-5. So we got some people answering. Buffering again. We'll check it out. We'll continue. We'll stay the course right now and see how it goes. If you are having buffering issues, just back it up just a hair, and that should help. All right, so Shady, I guess let's get right into it. We've got yesterday's Q post to go over. I'm going to go ahead and pull those up right now, and I want to just say something real quick, Shady. Did you? I dedicated this thread to Notch right here, and I'm just going to cruise down really quick. And I used a picture of him that the brilliant Anon and the Chans made, and he actually replied to me. He's like, "Oh wow, ha 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 ha! I look way cooler in my head, but I bet it's how I feel if someone ever recorded my beatboxing. Some pride, some grounding." Notch, welcome, brother. Thank you very much for supporting the Q movement, the Q Anons, the Patriots worldwide. This is worldwide, so this is going to be my thread for Tuesday, March 5th, and we got some new Q posts. We're going to go over those too, guys, so stay tuned. We've got a lot to cover. We've got some good decodes in here, and there's Notch right there. God bless you, Notch, and happy Ash Wednesday to everybody as well. It is Ash Wednesday, so God bless you if you guys have the ashes on your forehead. Here we go with Q post 2970, Shady, and this one was a Twitter post from Todd Penley, and it's I'll take what is a Q proof for 1,000, Alex, and it said hashtag QAnon, hashtag Q sent us, and hashtag Q Army. Just like to point that out. And it was at Beer at the Parade, and actually Beer at the Parade is pretty good. But the one thing, it says POTUS's notes from March 2nd, what's missing, dates, spoopy. And here's a higher res photo of it right here. Here's the actual high res photo of it. We did come to find out that is not POTUS's hands, that is Pompeo's hands. But we've got some things here. It says Meet IG, Jim Donovan, call Lavrov, who's Russian, Mexico. Oh boy, Carlos Slim, Ed something, Robert Riley, RR, and then something we can't see with the fingers. It says something on phone, ETC or DTC, Shady. I don't know what that means. And then it says diversify data. And then it says Sam Foist, who's, I believe, Washington Post or one of those newspaper editors. And then it says something and Saxacontinelad, something like that. We can't really read that. And then it says PC on Iran. PC might be a political conference on Iran or something to that effect. And then it leaves 23 off. Pain. So I thought that was pretty cool. This is the Q proof, and Q says sometimes reading between the lines provides ... and that's 6 ellipses right there. Meet IG is what I believe Q wanted us to focus on right there. Now this next one is kind of interesting. This is read the full below, and let me actually go to Q map. This is Q 1971. Let me just see how we can read it here real quick. That's not too bad. All right, so Q 1971 is our president, Twitter Uncle Jimbo status, And it says, listen carefully, reference regarding proof versus evidence. D party con, define evidence. Noun, the available body of facts or information indicating whether a belief or proposition is true or valid. The study finds little evidence or of overt discrimination. Synonyms, proof in the kill box, confirmation, verification, substantiation, corroboration, affirmation, authentication, attestation, documentation. Define proof. Noun, 1. Evidence in the kill box, or argument establishing or helping to establish a fact or truth of a statement. You will be asked to give proof of your identity. Synonyms, evidence, verification, corroboration, authentication, confirmation, certification, validation, attestation, demonstration, substantiation, witness, testament. Proof equals evidence? Listen to the clip again regarding proof and evidence. Define brainwashing. The truth is right in front of you. Think for yourself. So let's go ahead and listen to this Uncle Jimbo.
Dr. Justice?
Personally, I think he has, but we have to look and see. If we're going to do anything, you have to have proof. I think there's a lot of evidence, but we have to get a lot more evidence.
So that's what this is about. You don't yet have the proof.
That's part of what this is about.
It's part. So you don't have proof. It's part. Wait, let's listen to that
So
again.
now you're not sure he's obstructed justice?
Personally, I think he has, but we have to look and see. If we're going to do anything, you have to have proof. I think there's a lot of evidence, but we have to get a lot more evidence.
So that's what this is about. You don't yet have the proof.
That's part of what this is about.
Proof is part of what it's about, but they don't have it, Shady.
We have to start having a real conversation about, what are facts, and, our media being held accountable to, what they're saying. I mean, look at what the people are coming on TV and saying. They're not ashamed. Why are they not ashamed to go on the air in front of someone who's sitting there to ask them questions, to not be pressed on this stuff? Look at this, like whether it be the Smollett guy or, all these other people that go in front of the easy journalists. Adam Schiff never goes on any place where he can be pressed on these topics of, oh, well, we have this evidence that doesn't really exist, and now we're going after all these people. I noticed that on this list of 80 people, how some interesting names were on there, like Glenn Simpson or anyone associated with Perkins Coie or anyone associated with Lanny Davis. None of those people appeared on this list to get to the bottom of the collusion obstruction reality here.
Yep, absolutely. And proof and evidence, that's stuff that we need, Shady.
And that's the stuff that Anons have. That's what we've been doing for the last year and a half, is gathering the actual information and not only gathering it, but showing it to the journalists. So it's not like the journalists haven't seen us broadcasting this information. They're ignoring it. Even though they know it, they cannot ask the president the question. Look how long we've been since Q says, when will one of them ask us the question? I think we're getting closer and closer to that moment. We have go over a few things here, but an NBC hit piece and a couple of other interesting developments with this new book and stuff. So really starting to now you're seeing NBC News attacking Amazon for having the book on their platform.
Is it called NPC News?
The NPC.
WNPC. I love it.
Broadcasting from the mob.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Awesome. You got to have some fun, guys. You know what I'm saying? So that's Uncle Jimbo right there. And then the next Q post is regarding 2972. It's regarding a breaking 911 post. It says, security stepped up in New York City after 3 small bombs found near London transit hubs. WNPC. So Q says, coincidence? Post stringers dropped last night. Negative 48 in Killbox. Watch the news. Q, and that could be 48 hours, right? And if we look at that, if we go to that actual tweeter, it talks about the fire, and they set up. There were envelopes, and they actually caught fire. They're just rigged to catch fire. They weren't actual bombs. So I thought that was very interesting.
And also the stringers that we had come through the day before. Similar to, remember, the stringers that came through before the incident that happened on the subway in New York last year.
That's right, absolutely.
So it's like it's like an identifying marker for people out there. Sometimes the stringer codes come through that aren't easily deciphered, but they're to show us that there are activated assets on the ground dealing with threats.
That's right, and they are.
That seems to be the common theme, anyway.
Absolutely, and I agree with that completely. And then this is 2973. Q in parentheses says meet IG. Huber interview re. They range from domestic terrorism to court-authorized wiretaps of criminal organizations to child pedophiles and those who would exploit our children. Criminal aliens, big fraud schemes. Do you think the above is UT related? Crumbs are being dropped and missed. Think scope. Q. So basically there is new, 6 new IG attorneys hired in Utah. That is where Huber is from, and it's not just UT. This is federal. This is a federal thing, keeping everybody from the swamp. Remember, Q was saying that why is Huber over there, keeping people away from the swamp. So if you're attacking it, I think they needed to kind of separate from it a little bit, if you will.
And also remember to have multiple simultaneous investigations. We've been shown that we're working more than one investigation into all of this just in case.
Yeah, and we pointed to that article. Remember the article that Q pointed us to? She said she's got one person has over 20 cases right now, super busy, and it's all about human trafficking and pedophilia.
And look at what's happening right now with the whole R. Kelly thing. That's blowing up fast.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I mean, he just did that interview. I don't know if you saw that yet, but I caught a clip of it just a little bit ago of him actually losing his marbles in that interview.
Yeah, and people are still saying that we're buffering. Over the target, panic. Patriots are now in control. I don't know what to say about the buffering. Maybe we can ask YouTube to kindly unthrottle our stream. Maybe that would you think that would work, guys?
I doubt it.
Thank you, YouTube. We really appreciate it. But we are the news now. You are the news now, everybody out here watching this. And this is Q Post 2974. And Anon said, pointed this out earlier today. They specifically called them bombs, not suspicious packages, as per the norm. And Q said, fire, Q. And that kind of, led to that Article 2 saying that they were just going to catch fire. It could be a false flag. Absolutely.
But it's also, obviously being used as some sort of scare tactic to attempt a narrative slide.
The philosophizer says, mother buffers, love it. That was good. You actually made me laugh there. Thank you for that. That was good. And also, thank you for your support, my friend. Thank you. So then we go to 2975, and 2975 says, every barrel has a bad apple. But in this case, bad apples do not spoil the bunch. The core is what counts. The swamp is everywhere. Q. This one too, and I want to just kind of look at, here's some bad apple posts. 1632 says the most powerful organizations have sinister components. With power comes corruption. Like Alphabet Agency, not all are bad apples. Should the bad spoil the bunch? And then this is one here too, saying we are moving fast. Remember, not all within the C-A, D-J, D-F-I are bad apples. House cleaning top, restructuring 1 to 2, operations 24/7, speed. Q. So that's some of the Apple posts too that I wanted to do. Oh, also this was a good one too. This was at 5:05. This was before Q dropped this, and I kind of noticed it, and I went over to the NSA.gov and said they say hello. NSA.gov says hello because they actually do. If you decode these, and we'll get to that in a second. But look at this. This is an NSA tweet, and it looks eerily similar to
an 8chan symbol.
There it is right there, Shady. What do you think? Red castle, green castle? Look familiar? Interesting? Love
Connecting the dots, my friend.
So if you look at this was at 5:05 p.m. and this Q post is at 5:15 p.m. and says, sometimes you need a little humor. Look familiar? Q. and that's our Twitter, nsa.gov. Let's just quickly cruise over there. This is the actual tweet. Look at all this. Look at, yeah. Oh, look, somebody used the green Q Army. Love it. And I believe I am in here somewhere, but they probably hid me. You know how that is. Normally you see your own post, but look at that. Look at all the Q sent me's. That's awesome. All right, so cruising on along with that. Let me just cruise back to there. Okay. Here we are back to this. And then X also grew up watching Thundercats. So Q. So Thundercats, if you look at, the Q team replied to the tweet above, 2976, with this one, 2977, and has the, that is the Thundercat logo, and that's Lion-O, who's holding the sword. And if you look at this Thundercat logo, it kind of looks like, you know, the logo that the NSA used for their Hydra, or Ghidra. Sorry, thank you.
The Ghidra.
So I thought that was really cool. So then somebody posted this one. It was sun_Q_zoo says, Q gives us a little humor, and then guess who else gives us a little humor 3 minutes later? At POTUS. Real Donald Trump. If your eyes are open, you will see it. Now, if you look at the post, it says, crooked Hillary Clinton confirms that she will not run in 2020, rules out third bid for White House. Aw, shucks. Does that mean I won't get to run against her again? She will be sorely missed. So, crooked Hillary could be a reference to the 8chan logo, question mark.
And also that last little sentence there, it reminds me a little bit of the way we infer with RBG.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then so the Q post, it just basically 2978, it goes on to say, good catch, Patriot. A puzzle within a puzzle. Red, green, magic swords, NSA humor. Q. Again, so you got the magic swords up here in the graphic. You know, he's holding the magic sword. Remember the magic sword song that Q led us to as they're preparing for a mission. So very, very interesting. Thank you, NSA. Thank you, Q. So this one here, this one is a response to an Anon question, Q post 2979, and it says, this is supposed to be POTUS hands. When did POTUS start wearing a wedding band? And Q responds, Kansas, Q. And for those new here, go ahead and realize that is who? Who is Kansas, Shady?
Kansas is Pompeo, the Secretary of State.
That's right. And then so that is Pompeo. That's why when we looked at that first post by Beer on Parade, you know. Here's one for you guys. This is about patience, Shady. And, you know, this is a great meme that I found. Some brilliant Anon did this one, and I thought it was amazing. And it says, Anon, if the suspense of justice is killing you, imagine what it's doing to the enemy.
That's what I keep saying.
Yes.
I'm enjoying every minute of watching them flop around and act like they have some idea of how our system functions. You know, look what's going on with the whole AOC thing. She's on the hot seat now all of a sudden too with the campaign finance. You can't just do this stuff. I know there's been people in positions of power who allowed this to go on for the last 40 years, but I think that power structure has shifted, and the people underneath aren't quite aware of that yet.
Absolutely. I just lowered my quality from 1080 to 720, and it seems to be much better on my end, guys. So maybe do that. Underneath your YouTube, you have the HD cog. There's a cog, like a gear. Just lower that to 720. See if that helps out for you a little bit.
Yeah, actually, I was talking to a couple of the mods. I think that is working. We were trying to see if we could get that to recommend. I think that does slow down the buffering. They're consistently attacking this stream. We're not going to allow some buffering to stop us, though, guys. That's just the way it is.
Right, and I've got full green here. We're golden on my end. It's 0 frames dropped. So it's definitely somewhere other than here. Thank you, YouTube.
Their streams work great for everybody except for Q people. For some reason, the Q messes up the streams. It must be like, some sort of overuse of a letter in the alphabet or something.
That's right. And it is. They don't like that letter. They don't like the letter Q. That's for sure. All right, so I'm going to actually go ahead and play this real quick. This was WNPC. NBC. Let's watch this real quick, and let's talk about it after this. Hang on, it's just a minute and 30 seconds. Check it out, guys.
From signs at political rallies to online forums filled with talk of mind control and lizard people, the dark web movement called QAnon, once only found in the fringe parts of the internet, now on Amazon's best-selling book list, outranking authors like F. Scott Fitzgerald and Dr. Seuss. Anonymously written, the book contains a compilation of unproven radical conspiracy theories suggesting high-ranking Democrats are part of a cult that eats children, claiming the government created AIDS and saying it's also behind the movie Monsters, Inc. Part of a government plan, it claims, to collect children's blood and give government officials a more youthful look.
Anyone can publish anything, and on the one hand, that creates some amazing opportunities, but it also means that some really toxic stuff can get out there.
The book is getting
Anyone can publish anything, and that's exactly what they're doing. I'm just going to go ahead and continue. Sorry about that.
5-star reviews, including several from people who admit they haven't even read it. But Amazon's algorithm seems to unintentionally reward that, pushing the book up the bestseller list and, in effect, promoting baseless conspiracy theories. The issue of misinformation on social media has in the past led other tech companies to take action. YouTube restricting recommendations for some anti-vaccination videos. Facebook exploring ways to handle conspiracy content.
This kind of really powerful conspiracy theory, emotionally laden stuff, it just, it's pretty irresistible to a huge swath of people, and that is how a lot of these companies make money.
Amazon hasn't responded to NBC News' request for comment and wouldn't give specifics on how the algorithm works or how much it could get from sales. For now, the unfounded and dangerous conspiracy theories lifted from the dark web, one of Amazon's best-selling books.
Unfounded, Shady.
Unfounded.
Unfounded. And lizard people, isn't that David Icke who's totally against Q? Let's go to Q map real quick and let's look up lizard people. LIZARD PEOPLE.
Don't do it live.
Oh, you the people have the power, not lizard people. I don't see any lizard. Let's just do lizard and see what we get.
Let's see how many reptiles we have been researching in the last year and a half.
Oh, look, Shady. How many drops?
No, you need to hit the enter button.
I did.
What?
Yeah.
Then there's none.
Watch. LIZARD.
None.
Lizard. Nothing.
Nothing.
And let's see. EATBABIES. Well, look at this. What about human baby meat? This is Rainn Wilson. He's a star. So is it us that's talking about eating babies, or is it them talking about eating babies? NBC. Why don't you actually do some research and check it out? These people are sick. Is this normal? This is Rainn Wilson. He's from the what movie is he from? The oh my gosh.
The Guardians, right?
Yeah. Look at this. What about human baby meat? Retweet. What should I eat for dinner? I'm thinking pasta. Little concern this morning. Found blood in my urine. Well, not my urine, the baby urine. I can't even read this stuff. All right. Why don't you guys show this? It's not us talking about it. It's us pointing it out that you guys are doing it.
Not only that, not only did they not show it, Matrixx. Remember, whenever this stuff was being brought up by all of us, NBC put out an article it was that day or the next day showing actors how to erase embarrassing tweets.
That's right. That came from NPC as well.
So the NPC is coming out now and saying that you guys are out there researching lizard people, and I'm not going to be someone that sits here and says that the conspiracy reality doesn't include people researching lizard people. That is definitely going on out there, but Q has not given us any information on lizard people, and we're not researching lizard people. The swamp we're researching are in Washington, D.C., and they are protected by the WNPC. Very obvious propaganda here, and interesting too how did you catch the slight in that about the book's not number one on Amazon Matrixxx because of people buying it. The book's number one on Amazon because of Amazon's messed up algorithm.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So,
and some didn't even read it.
People are buying the book and giving reviews. They didn't even read it. Okay, so it's like how many? Like I think the last time I saw we could get Hillary's last book for $2.50 on the discount shelf. How many people gave ratings to that book and didn't read it? So the reality of this is just hilarious, especially coming from folks like us who are a little bit older, who remember when the news organizations at least pretended like they were reporting the news.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is, if they're saying that it's bad, you might want to just go get the book. I know all this, the people that are attacking everybody is attacking them, so that might be a good sign that, if you're being attacked by the people that are calling people P-A-Y, triots, you might want to go check it out, because these people don't want any word getting out. I beg to differ. I think our word needs to get out. The brilliant Anons the word needs to get out. We've been working so hard on our research, and I want people to hear it. And finally, people are listening. And there is nothing behind any paywall here. On InTheMatrixx with 3x's.com. There's nothing there that's behind a paywall. It is all about a donation. If you want, not required. If you want to donate, we will put it to good use. I mean, we've got a website. We've got a social media network just in case Facebook and Twitter goes down. We're in it to win it, guys. We're not in it to say, oh, well, I need to, do this, consume my life with this stuff and not, try to help, fund this website and stuff that we're doing. Nobody's making a profit on this, And you know what the sad thing is about this book? Amazon is probably going to keep their royalties. They're probably not even going to pay them. That's just how they roll.
I think I have a feeling that that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to put it in some sort of category as disinformation or whatever, and either take it down or not pay the guys for their services. And just to hit into what you're saying there a little bit, this idea that people and content shouldn't be compensated is just a little bit off the rails. We had some really great help from Tori Says and Red State Radio last week to put our billboard that's in Times Square up there for nothing, just so that we would go and sit down and speak with her audience for a couple of hours, which has led into a relationship with Mr. Adams from Red State Radio, who is 100% patriot and behind us in the Q movement. And you have people, some the people that are being ugly out there attacking this person for allowing us a free spot to put up a fiery Q in Times Square to help people, wake people up to like where this information is and pointing it back to the information to get the conversation started out there. So we have to get this stuff in the greater public arena. And that is what's happening, especially with NBC and these over 1,000 articles in the last 3-4 months about negative articles about Q. They're paying so much attention to it. And the questions are coming from so many angles and so many people are interested. So the idea that stuff is, everything is, free and nothing should be ever compensated is just a little ridiculous. We've really been over backwards for you guys, and we wouldn't have been able to do what we've been able to accomplish with the website without your help. So that is the way this is going, and we're 100% on board to be here and see through this project and into the next phase of it, which is re-educating the world on what really happened in the last 150 years.
Yeah, and I think Penny Barrett makes a good point here about the eating the babies to stay youthful. Well, it's not working. So that's a proof right there that they're lying. I'm sorry, I had to do that. Great comment. And look, the attacks, they've attacked Praying Medic, they've attacked Jordan Sather, they've attacked iPod, they've attacked me, they've attacked Shady, they've attacked probably you guys. Who do they? They've attacked Red State Radio. They've attacked Tory. They've attacked Scott Adams. They've attacked this book. They've attacked the people in the book, up to and including Serial Brain now. Who do they like? Who do they like? Do they want to be the ones? Start a YouTube channel. Do something. Get off your butt. Quit complaining. Quit being division.
Yeah. Speak for the positive reunification of our world, please.
That's right. And I am an anon as well, guys. I am on the boards. So don't fret. I'm not moving anything anywhere. I post on the boards to this day.
And so do I. You know,
yeah.
I mean, we've been doing this the whole time and working in tandem with with the boards. You know, everyone over there, all of us over there are anonymous, and all of us are contributing to the conversation. And you know, this is part of the reason that we're here is the ability to kind of interpret what's going on over there, filter it through, bring it down to Twitter, bring it down to YouTube, bring it to you guys, and then disseminate and answer questions related to what they're finding and related to how we're seeing things unfold, staying flexible and fluid to new information. That's the trick to this, staying flexible and fluid to new information. You've been taught to get stuck in a thought pattern or a belief system, and we're trying to change that into being a free thinking, mobile thinking, logical person who can change your mind once presented with better or more accurate information.
Yep, absolutely. And this is the ASCII 2 text right here for the Ghidra, and it says hello world. See all those zeros and ones? Brilliant Anon put them into the ASCII hello world, all the binaries in there and the hex, and that's the breakdown of it, and it says hello world. The NSA just told you hello world. All right, another interesting thing. This is a Q proof. This is the Jim Henson, remember the Jerry Nadler that we just heard, that you need proof and evidence, but they don't have it? Guess who else retweeted that, guys? Your president last night.
POTUS
tweeted
I was actually online right whenever he tweeted it, so I got in underneath that one quick.
Yeah, he retweeted that, guys. That is amazing. So that's a Q proof. That's your president looking at the same information as Q. Awesome.
And bringing your attention to it like Q did.
Right. Shady, this is Prayer Warrior. Do you want to go through this? This is the, did you guys see this yet? Math does not lie. And I'm going to go ahead and make that bigger. Shady, this is the...
Yeah, you got it pulled up there. Okay.
Yep.
So if you take a look at this, the way we have mathematically broken down the 20 zero deltas or inside 2-minute deltas. There's been 20 times that Q and the president have posted within the same 2 minutes. I think 16 or 18 of those, maybe more, are zero deltas. This is as of...
Hang on one second, Shady. Samantha Yates says that we should combine with wherewegowhenwegowild.com. Well, why don't they combine with us? We have the same thing. I support them. Go ahead, go do it. But our website is higher up in the rankings, so there you go. Shady, go ahead.
So with this, there's the probability rating here of 5 less than 2-minute deltas between Q and the president leads you with a 50% probability that Q is real. And if you look at this graph, once you get up to 20 inside 2-minute delta drops, you have a 100% probability rating that Q is real and a 0% probability that Q is a LARP. This is some real math here, guys. We're talking, the coincidence time, mathematically impossible reality is over. So realize that folks out there who are saying that, Q is a LARP, it's not real, it can't be happening, they're not paying attention to the reality that Q and the president are posting in sync with one another about common topics. Okay, that is huge. This is not even taking into account that the content of the tweet and the Q post are the same. This is just taking into account that they're done within the same 2 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so the probability of 20 Q posts with the 0 delta is 0.000.
And now there are 20 zeros. This is February 12th. So now there's 20 zero deltas. The other day, one within 7 seconds, about the same.
0.7. Yeah, 0.7 seconds.
So,
or no, 7 seconds. That. Yeah, you're right. Very interesting. So, Prayer Warrior, hat tip to you. Mathmagically delicious is what at Cookie Q says all the time. And I love it. Now, here's where the Pompeo picture was taken from. It was taken from May 23rd, 2018. Okay? So, it's not new. It wasn't POTUS's notes. But this is Pompeo insists administration will not tolerate Russian election meddling this year as photograph captures glimpse into his to-do list. So we cruise down here. Oh my gosh, see? You guys are worried about my paywalls and stuff? Oh my gosh, which I don't have. Anyways, so this is Secretary of State Pompeo. This is when he was testifying before the Foreign Affairs Committee, saying that he will deploy countermeasures. Where do we hear that a lot? To fight Russian propaganda campaign. Here is the actual list here, and it says Pompeo's to-do list for Wednesday was photographed, including call notes to foreign Russian Minister Sergei Lavrov, and to make contact with Mexico's ambassador to the U.S., billionaire Carlos Slim. And CNN Washington Bureau Sam Feist. So this was already this was 2018 March. So just so you guys know where that actually came from, I think it's important, and I think Q did say that was Pompeo's, but this is May 23rd, 2018.
And the it's interesting because it's missing the dates 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19, or the numbers, and then there's no 23 on this note.
That's right, absolutely. And this was good too. So I want to read this one to you too, because a brilliant Anon made some great connections regarding the Ghidra and Q posts. So Ghidra is a software reverse engineering framework developed by the NSA's Research Directorate for NSA Cybersecurity Mission. Look at the logo. Not only is it a reference to 8chan, it is also pointing to King Ghidorah, a film monster originating from Toho's Ghidorah. The three-headed monster, 1964. Although Toho officially trademarks the character as King Ghidorah, the character was originally referred to as Ghidorah in some English markets. Ghidorah was a modern take on the dragon Yamada no Orochi. The legendary sword Kyung Kusanagi no Tsurugi, my apologies for hacking that, came from the tale of Yamada no Orochi. Along the Yada no Kagami mirror and Yasakini no Matatama jewel. Oh my gosh, Shady, these are tough names to say. I'm sorry, guys. These are three sacred imperial regalia of Japan. It was originally called Am no Murakomo no Tsurugi, Heavenly Sword of the Gathering Clouds. So Ghidorah connects the NSA, the Japanese dragon, the sword, see the Thundercats, and Japan. Thundercats was an animated Japanese studio, Pacific Animation Corporation, and co-produced by Rankin Bass Animated Entertainment, and interestingly, Nakasone is the commander of the United States Cyber Command, and his father is second-generation Japanese American. And also, interestingly to note here, there's 13 notches around here, and then 4, 17. There's a 17 embedded in here as well.
Great job reading that. I'm so glad you didn't task me with that. I would have butchered that much worse. Very good.
Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 17 is embedded in this dragon. Lizard people. All right. So I thought this was pretty cool. This is a new peppy broadcast from QNN. QAnon is worldwide. It's in Canada. It's in the Netherlands. It's in France. It's everywhere, guys. So if you want to see this little video that they did, I've got the original YouTube that these will be posting on. I just threw it right there. And you know what, Shady, that brings us to today. What's going on today? This is our Q. We've had Q at 11 o'clock this morning, give or take. I think it was 11 something when Q Team started posting. So this is my thread for Wednesday, March 6th, 2019. Read carefully, knowing what you know now and more. And today is -13. Again, dedicated to @Notch. Let's go, and in the Matrixxx.com with 3 X's. And again, Notch was down here in my comments, in our comments, in the comments. Haha, feels nice. I get a bit cocky and lose track a bit sometimes from it, though. I'm sort of hoping I can turn this into the stragglers on the left trying to make me sad with compliments, though. So amazing. And I asked him to see if he'd come on to our shows. So, Notch, come on, let's get an interview with you. That would be wonderful. And
Let's
this is
bat it around a little bit.
yeah, and this is the this is the meme that I chose for today. This is Hotel Gitmo. It's November 11th ball, and there's everybody there in there. You've got, you know, right here you've got Nancy Pelosi. Over here you've got Mad Max over there. You've got Soros. You've got Hillary. You've got Skippy. You've got the Saudi people. You've got everybody's in here. Zuckerberg, Schumer. No names there. There's Jack from Twitter. So there's a lot of people in there. I think it's a pretty awesome meme, and that's why I chose it, because it was appropriate. Because the Q post right here says 2980 says, "Read carefully, knowing what you know now. Predictable moves, counter moves, Death Blossom." Now, first, before we get to Death Blossom, let's look at this post, New York Post. So Trump threatens to declassify devastating docs about Democrats. In a wide-ranging exclusive interview with the Post, President Trump said Wednesday, today, that if the House Democrats launched probes into his administration, which he called presidential harassment — you guys remember that tweet, presidential harassment? — they'd pay a heavy price. If they go down the presidential harassment track, if they want to go and harass the president and the administration, I think that would be the best thing that would happen to me. I'm a counterpuncher, and I will hit them so hard. They've never been hit like that, he said during a 36-minute Oval Office sit-down. The commander-in-chief said that he could declassify FISA warrant applications and other documents from Mueller probe, and predicted the disclosure would expose the FBI, the DOJ, and the Clinton campaign as being in cahoots to set him up. Quote, "I think they would help my campaign. If they want to play tough, I will do it. They will see how devastating those pages are." But Trump told the Post that he wanted to save the documents until they were needed. "It is much more powerful to do it then," Trump said, "because if we had done it already, it would have already been yesterday's news." Trump revealed his playbook just as the Democrats are set to take over the House committees in January, where they are poised to investigate his potential business conflicts of interest, tax returns, Russia dealings, and more. With the GOP losing power in January, its congressional investigations into alleged Department of Justice misconduct in launching the Russian probe is expected to fizzle out. In September, a group of Trump allies in the House, led by Rep. Lee Zeldin of New York, called on Trump to declassify scores of Justice Department documents they believe undercut the start of the Russia investigation and show bias against Trump. The documents include justice officials' requests to surveil Trump, campaign advisor Carter Page, and memo DOJ official Bruce Orr's interactions with Christopher Steele, the author of a controversial dossier that alleged Trump ties with Russia. Trump initially agreed to declassify the documents, including text messages sent by the former FBI officials James Comey, Andrew G. McCabe, as well as Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, and Orr. Trump allies believe the revelations will show favoritism toward Hillary Clinton and a plot to take down Trump. Trump then reversed course, citing the need for further review and concern of the U.S. allies. Trump added Wednesday that his lawyer, Emmett Flood, Flood is coming, thought it would be better politically to wait. "He didn't want me to do it yet because I can save it," Trump said. The president also pushed back on the notion that the Justice Department documents should eventually be released for the sake of transparency. "Some things maybe the public shouldn't see because they are so bad," Trump said, making it clear it wasn't damaging to him but others. "Maybe it is better that the public not see what's been going on with this country." And remember, Shady, this is the 70-30, then 60-40 transparency Q posts. I mean, this is a Q post. This is Q has posted all of this stuff to us, Shady.
And that's I think why Q wants you to pay extra attention, as he says, read this carefully. Interesting way, like that this becomes worded, where he talks before, now look at the quotes directly saying what it is that is going on. A deep state coup against me. You know, like we mentioned a minute ago, Christopher Steele wasn't called on that list to come testify. You know, the 80 people that they're harassing, they're not looking at anything real. That's becoming obvious with, you know, the idea of evidence, and all of us being able to think clearly and share this clear thinking message with those around us is that's what we're tasked with doing, not only on Twitter and Facebook, but sharing this with other people, letting people know that this is what's really happening, and the media is flat out lying. They're not pretending. They're not wrong. They're not dumb. They are intentionally lying and using the public airwaves as a propagandized machine against the truth to brainwash you into thinking that borders do not matter, and killing Americans at 9 months old doesn't matter, and thinking about all of this other stuff to you. The idea that we have, you know, so many people coming out of school in this massive debt right now. Is the education really worth that debt when we're sitting with 7 million jobs out there in America that middle skilled workers like welders and HVAC people, their jobs are open because no one's qualified to do these mid-level jobs. So we've got to get some thought around the future and some thought around the idea of what's going on in our government, as well as you guys getting back on the track of understanding, you know, what the economy is, how it's represented, how it's different than socialism, capitalism. You get to earn and you get to keep. Okay, that is a big difference than socialism. I know it seems what's the word, boutique to be a socialist, but trust me, this is a real fight in the conversation that you're having, and you've got real elected officials who believe in socialism. So that is the truth of the matter here. This is referring back to all the stuff that's going to impede them, and as we saw with the post yesterday, 44 straight to the top, foreign and domestic issuances of surveillance on the opposing campaign. And they're still talking about Watergate like it's the biggest political conspiracy ever known to mankind.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and, you know, guys, again, sorry, but for all this buffering crap, again, set your settings maybe to 480p, 720p, whatever. Keep watching if you can. I'm sorry, guys. It's terrible, but over the target. So, thank you for hanging in there with us, Patriots. All right, so that's it, man. That's that. So I wanted to cruise into the next thing because I just kind of Googled this too, the Death Blossom, right? And I came up with this. Let's take a listen.
All communication and radar systems are out, Wing Commander. Proceed with the visual attack formation.
Life support good. Ammo packs are peak.
Think we gotta use Death Blossom.
Remember, Death Blossom delivers only one massive volley at close range. Theoretically.
What do you mean, theoretically?
After all, DB has never been tested. It might overload the systems. Blow up the ship.
What are you worried about, Krieg? Theoretically, we should already be dead.
Open Death Blossom petals. Switches on. Trigger DB until we're within range. Just use your lasers until I give the signal. Remember to leave
Been
your
recruited
target.
by the Star League to defend the frontier.
Now you ready?
This is it. Here we go.
Charge! shields recharge. Laser power grenade.
Greg, my weapons are gone. Should I do it?
Easy, easy. Wait till they're all in Death Blossom range. Fire!
We did it.
We did it.
Yes, we actually did, didn't we?
So that's the Death Blossom, and I thought that was amazing. And that's from 1984, and that's the final battle in the movie. Let me just go ahead and open this link to in a new window just so I can read it to you.
It's the official truck of calloused hands.
It says, in the final battle of the movie, Alex Rogan, Lance Guest, and his alien pilot Grigg, Dan O'Herlihy, take down the superior forces of the evil Kodan Armada with a prototype superweapon known as Death Blossom. So I thought that was pretty awesome. Also, Stormy Joe, I wanted to put this in my thread. I gave him a hat tip, too. He's got the Q proof for the D fire_good and the fire. So the device sent the Heathrow Airport caught fire when the staff opened it. There's a picture of it right there. So this is kind of like, going back to the codes that Shady and I were talking about earlier. So hat tip to you, Stormy Joe. I think he's out there right now. Thanks, brother. Check that out if you can. Then again, we kind of looked at some of the Death Blossom. I found this one from the movie Last Starfighter. The Death Blossom is a unidirectional super weapon which fires all over the place, hitting everything within range. If you are taking on a whole bunch of people, you could be said to be doing a Death Blossom. So that's a good one. Then Shady showed me this one. Death Blossom, American military slang for the war in Iraq, the tendency of Iraqi security forces in response to receiving a little fire from the enemy to either run away or do the Death Blossom, spraying fire indiscriminately in all directions. And that's reported on Global Security.
That's not a good Death Blossom.
I like that one.
That's like the one you don't want. I like the first one with the guy in the Starfighter and the unidirectional. that reminds me of us on Twitter or on social media.
Absolutely, and
the president is in the middle of performing a Death Blossom.
Check out this guy. He's been following me for a long time, and this is Snig, and he's an amazing guy. And he posted this last night at 12:57 a.m.
Coincidence?
Amazing. Snig, Nair, hat tip. Follow him on Twitter if you guys can. He's a great guy. Great guy. And I've known him since I was like 2,000 followers. So, and kept in contact with him. I keep in contact with a lot of people. So here we go. So this is the next Q post. This is the D Party Con. So, Shady, you want to read this one? 2981?
So this one was giving us a link to Sarah Carter, her article here. And this tweet that she said was, the crisis has been brewing for decades. It can no longer be ignored. Something has to be done, both for national security and also for humanitarian reasons. Read here, border crisis hearing. It's real. It's serious. It is a threat. Obvious. And then she gives us the evidence link into her whole article there. Q says, but they, the Dems, already know. They just lie. Dishonest. Then giving us the tweet of the real Cornet here with the Dianne Feinstein, and I think you were going to play that one, weren't you?
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and finish reading it here. He gives us that, and he says, "Welcome to the D in the Killbox Party Con." Q, and you're going to see some clips from the way these people thought when they got to the swamp.
For the time being, enforce our borders. The day when America could be the welfare system for Mexico is gone. We simply can't afford it. And I think you've seen the figures to state and local governments of what the cost is. It's over $2 billion.
I think we should enforce our borders. To have a situation where 40% of the babies born on Medicaid in California today are born of illegal immigrants creates a very real problem for the state, which is in deficit.
Look, of course you can enforce the borders.
Let me finish.
I agree.
To have 17% of our prison population at a cost of $300 million a year be illegal immigrants who come here and commit felonies. That's not what this nation is all about.
Very simple. They've been enforce our border. They have been speed up the asylum process. They have been crack down on illegal smuggling. They have been remove the option that is given to an illegal alien convicted of a felony has an option of serving time in this country or in their own country. I say return them to their own country, wherever that country may be, to serve the time. So my proposals have been all along those lines, and I think most people have regarded them as moderate.
What do you think about that? Wow, sounds exactly like how we're talking.
Tunes change, don't they, over time?
Yeah, they do. And this is why, you know, this is the D Party con. They just lie. They're dishonest. And here's another one.
I have sponsored legislation that would call for an audit of the Federal Reserve System. I offer that amendment every year. Every year, the legislation gets nowhere. I think it would be interesting to know about the Federal Reserve. I think we should audit the Federal Reserve. It's taxpayers' money that's being used there, but we don't do that.
Audit the Fed.
Senator Dorgan has spoke out on the secrecy of the Federal Reserve System. He's spoken out on the Federal Reserve more than anyone that I know in either body. But even though there is no entity in the world that controls our lives more than the Federal Reserve System, his speeches go unnoticed, I'm sorry to say. What the Federal Reserve Board does, nobody knows what they're doing. If someone likes this legislation, generally speaking, that is, we're going to try to stop unfunded mandates, then they should love this amendment.
So that's a young Harry Reid before he got the black eyes, arguing for a Federal Reserve audit, you know. The next one is this one.
Anything to encourage more illegal immigration into this country.
We have to stop the inflow of illegals coming into our country.
Mexican government's policies are pushing migration north.
The Mexican government is much smarter, much sharper, much more cunning, and they send the bad ones over because they don't want to pay for them. They don't want to take care of them.
Look, I voted numerous times when I was a senator to spend money to build a barrier to try to prevent illegal immigrants from coming in.
We will build a wall. It will do what it's supposed to do. Keep illegal immigrants out.
If they've committed transgressions of whatever kind, they should be obviously deported.
And some of these people are causing tremendous problems. All you have to do is look at the crime wave. If I'm elected, they're going to be out of there day one.
I voted for border security, and some of it was a fence. I don't think we ever called it a wall. Maybe in some places it was a wall.
We're going to have a border. It's going to be a real border.
You know, secure our borders with technology, personnel, physical barriers if necessary. We need to have tougher employer sanctions.
We have a country, we have to have borders. We have borders, we have to have laws. We either have a country or we don't.
Yeah, so that's younger Hillary Clinton. I mean, obviously, this is the D Party con. And I've got one more for you, real quick.
Different issues. We're talking about, do we have a commitment to secure the border? Yes. What are the options that we have available to us? Let's make sure they work. Because we do, while we need to address the issue of immigration and the challenge we have of undocumented people in our country, we certainly don't want any more coming in.
Yeah, so what do you think about that, Shady? Those are some we got Pelosi, we got young Harry Reid, we've got Feinstein, and we've got Hillary.
Number one, they all agree with me.
Right? This is the first time they've agreed with it.
And number two, Nancy Pelosi sounded like a chipmunk back then as well.
She did, and she looked like one too. And that brings us to this one too. And this one, Shady, I'm going to let you take.
So I really like when Q posts in all capital letters because he's being direct and he's being forthright and stern with us. And on 2982 this morning, Q says, freedom of thought will not only save you, but it will save the world. The days of fake news, control of the narrative, and the brainwashing are over. Enemy of the people, the Great Awakening. Q. Freedom of thought will not only save you, but it will save the world is absolutely rock solid, concrete fact. Okay. We know, we've watched how many people, Matrixx, in the last year wake up to this from nothing, from not knowing anything, to come into this movement, to backing this movement, to being for this movement, to talking to people about this movement, to doing something productive and to red pill other people. The satisfaction that you get when you share a piece of information with someone that they actually take in and use in their real life is beyond any other satisfaction you're really going to get.